making sure that lateral flexion is there. So when I pick up on this rein, she follows that feel softly, which that was perfect. That was lovely. She couldn't have been any softer to that. So what we'll do today is we'll cruise around a little. So I'm hanging on that rein. I'm just waiting for her to be soft. What you want to make sure when you're riding your horses is that you don't hang on the reins, because if you hang on the reins, you're just making your horses heavy. If you can feel your horse pulling on the reins, there's too much contact. So you either need to get in there and get it done and get them soft, and then let it go, or you need to correct yourself. If you're doing it as a balance thing or a confidence thing, you need to go back a few steps, good girl, and possibly work on your own balance. Some vertical flexion on the rail. However, it doesn't really test their mouth out all that much. It doesn't do any training their brain for this lateral stuff. So today, we're just going to move her around the arena at a trot and work her body around some of these objects in the arena. The arena looks quite messy with all this stuff out here, but it all does serve its purpose. Good girl, Zara. Today she's a lot more relaxed, I have to say. Yesterday she was relaxed, but she was a little bit reactive. And I would rather have Zara a little bit doughy and a little bit more placid. That's more in her nature, and just works through these things like this than have her too forward and too up. And she's such a big mare, before you know it, she's sort of halfway across the arena when she's got a bit of pace about her. Zara loves working on the rail. She loves it. So up a notch on the rail, and I'm quite happy for her to do that. So right here, I'm just gonna, there, good girl. Pick her up with my legs. Good girl, Zara. She's such a lovely big girl. Good girl. Let's bring her back to me. Good girl. What I want to see when I'm on the rail like this is that I can pull her off the rail, do a circle, and then put her back on without any troubles, without her getting too above herself and getting lost in that forward motion and following that rail. She's still listening to me. If I can pull her off the rail, do a circle, and then put her back on the rail, I'm confident she's listening and she's following that contact. Good girl. We're going to go the other way now. This side. Didn't get her big body around that time. So right here, she's leaning. I'm just going to open that outside. Good girl. She just stood her shoulder up. She didn't really move across, but instead of leaning, she stood that shoulder up. She feels a lot happier today. And yesterday, I kind of felt like the gear was giving her a little bit of grief. She was being tolerant, but she just wasn't really all that happy about it. So today, she's feeling a lot happier in her work. So I'm glad I went and made some adjustments there. You've got to listen to your horses, and if they're usually happy in their work and they're having their off day, you need to ask why. Just going to ask her to come back to me a bit here. Might even do a circle because she's kind of dropping that shoulder, not getting up. Oh, good girl, good girl. She really lifted that shoulder up then. So as I feel her drop that, good girl, I'm just going to pick up that rein and push her up with my leg. She doesn't understand all this stuff yet, but the only way to start teaching it is to start using it and rewarding when she gives, bend a little to the inside, then a little to the outside. Good girl. Good. Good girl, Zara. And down here we might do a little figure eight. Just bring her around. Good girl. Good. Here she's lifting up and she's lifting up. The reason she's racing towards that corner and lifting up is because there's a horse standing in that corner. So she's just kind of losing her focus as we come around here. See, right here. I'm just going to bring it back. There, good girl. That was a terrible figure of 8, but as you go along, your circles get better. See her gazing off into the distance there, saying, how come that horse gets to spend some lovely time under the trees and I have to do this work? And you ran a good girl, Zara. That was a better circle on that side. Now we use my leg again. Push, push, push. Stand, good girl. Here she comes up. It's just a matter of holding her till she comes back to me. There, she wants to drop. Right. There, good girl. Good girl. That was a nice step across that she did. Yeah, just bump her back in. Bump her on that pick that rein up and give it a little bit of a bump. Good girl, Zara. So down here again, we'll do another figure of 8. Do some circle work. I'm just going to push, 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 push. She's not really listening to my leg. There, good girl. I just want to see that nice arc through her body. I don't want to see her come up like that. There. Good girl. Don't. There, good girl. Good girl. Once again, let her out of that when she steps up. Just here, she's coming up out of it again. Good girl. Come back the other way. I'm going to push with my leg, hold that rein up. She wants to sort of drop in. You need forward for this. If your horse is sucking back, you won't be able to get this. That's a lovely circle, Zara. Good job. There, she wants to, right there, she just drops in. There, good girl. I'm going to let her out onto the rail. Good girl. Come here. Let's see if we can't get a nice big trot out of her. Good girl. Good girl. Good. I'm just going to pull her back onto the rail there. She kind of drifts out a little bit. So instead of doing the circle to the inside, I'm going to pull her back onto the rail. See if I can't straighten her up that way. Try that again. I sit, push. Good girl. Encourage to use the right lead. I've been encouraging that on the ground. I just gave her a bit of a bump with my legs to kind of push her forward. Really want her there, coming down into the bridle a little. So I just hold there, good girl. That initially feels a little strange for them when they round up and they're carrying their riders in a canter for the first time. And I always find that they want to drop out. Good girl. But as you go along, they build more strength and can carry you. Come on. Good girl. You see her hollow out there as she runs into it? Good girl. Good. I just pick up on her face, drive her up with my seat and my legs. Good girl. And encourage her back end up to her front end. I just wanted to soften her. Hold there. Good girl. Initially, you might... Wrong lead. We're just going to fix that up a little. We might have to put her into a bit of a circle to get this right. Good girl. Try that again. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Wrong lead. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Correct lead. Perfect. Keep going. This is very forward this way. That's because she's on the correct lead. She doesn't usually pick the correct lead up on this side. So I'm finding she's just a little more unco. Come on. I'll go back into a circle again. Try the... Come on. Come on. Good girl. So I would prefer her, she needs to go forward to get this lead right, then we go forward. We let her bowl along and get that, find that strength, or build, come on. Expect her to pick up the wrong lead, she did. Right here, I'll pull her around, which she won't be able to do in that. Come on. Wrong lead. Come on. Good girl. So you'll see as she strikes off on that right lead, because she's not as balanced on this side, she kind of bowls on. Keep going. And she, it takes her a little bit to find her balance and rock back to that nice canter. But we work with what they give us to start with, and then we bring them back. And she's really powering along there. You can really feel she's such a big mess, and when she picks it up, she really powers it on. And because we haven't done any saddle work on this correct lead, I'm going to keep powering her along. I don't want her dropping back and dropping out of it. I really want her to start building up some strength on this side. So for the moment, I'll allow her to be more forward. Now she wants to stop here, the mare in that paddock is right there. She picked up the right leg. Good girl, Zara. So I've been encouraging right leads on the lunge, which she's been doing really well. She barely picks up the wrong lead anymore. So now it's just a matter. Now, whoa. Good. Good. So all I'm doing here is I allow her to walk forward. I take the contact, I hold the contact, take my legs off. And that is her key, that's her cue to stop. She's telling me to get off right now. So I push her forward, legs on, pick up the contact, whoa. And I want her to take, good girl, a couple of steps back. Eventually I want her to take 4 or 5 steps back. That's how we get that amazing stop. Zara's got a good stop anyway because she's always thinking, let's stop. Walk her forward. Come on. Walk her forward. And then legs off. Woo. Good girl. 1, 2. Good job. All right. This way. Good girl. Push her forward again. I'll show you again. Good girl. Forward, 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 forward. And then woo. Good girl. So because I don't throw the reins at her and then squeeze her, which that would be forward, because when I do this, I hold those reins and put my legs back on her, that's her cue to then walk backwards. I'll show you once more. Good girl, Zara. All right, so we move her forward. Forward in a trot, come on. Yep. Forward, 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 forward. Legs off, whoa. Legs back on. So you see, I did not take up any more rein or contact. I just maintained the same and put my legs back on, which tells Zara to back up.